forbidden interest. It provides a value for the Islamic economic model. Because interest is an impediment to the distribution of wealth. Because if you charge people more interest, then they have to be paying the interest. But if you take it away, they have excess wealth. But we know that excess wealth, according to the Quran, is going to be taken away 2.5% every year because of the zakat. So that's an economic stimulus for you to take the excess wealth and inject it back into society for entrepreneurship. I don't want to get into the whole economic model of Islam, but the Quran does even provide solutions to economic problems. So from that perspective, it is timeless. And also, you know, the accusation that it's a 7th century book is only accusation because people haven't really studied it. It's an accusation because they assume just because it came from the 7th century, it's a product of a 7th century mind. But this doesn't make sense because then we could claim that democracy is way beyond the 7th century. It's like before Christ, right? So we could be claiming that democracy or other aspects of philosophy shouldn't be taken into consideration because they have the emergence way before even the Quran. So it's just a way of attacking Islam. If people really scrutinize and read the Quran, then they'll see it's very powerful in changing human beings. It's got a lot of concepts that it gives the human being that they could apply to real scenarios and reality. Because the Quran treats the human being as a human being. It doesn't treat him as a human being with a particular context. Because the Quran says, look, we have instincts and needs. Spiritual instincts, physical instincts, and we have needs. And these needs are dealt with in the Quran. And formed and shaped. These needs haven't changed. If you could bring me another human being that has like 2 brains and 5 legs, then fine, we need another Quran. Yeah, isn't it? We still got 2 legs, we still got 2 arms, we still got the same essential drives and instincts. And the Quran dealt with those 1400 years ago, and therefore deals with them right now. It's a text of philosophy will only be time bound if that particular text or the message of the text deals with a person in a particular historical context. But the Quran never does that. It always treats a human being as a human being. Does that satisfy you? If it doesn't, just tell me. If you got something better, just bring it. Yeah? So I don't have all the answers, man.
No, that's a good answer.
But do you have something else to add? Please.
No, I don't. That's why I asked that. I think it is an important question to ask because, like I said, there's a lot of attention over Islam, and it's something that's brought up again and again.
Sure.
So thank you.
I think the good thing with the Quran as well is that when you ponder over it, like the Quran tells you to ponder over it, right? It's giving you tools to understand it. And some people just click through it and say, oh, forget this. No, the Quran is saying, ponder over this text. And the unique thing about the Quran, the more you ponder over each verse, even in English language, it becomes new to you all the time. It just resonates in different ways. And that's the beauty of the Quran.
Well, thank you very much for your talk. It's very, very interesting. I have just a quick question. In the Quran, it has the term fitna.
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 Yes.
And it says that fitna is worse than killing.
Yes.
What do you take that to mean?
I don't know. You tell me what you think it means.
I don't know. I'm not a scholar of the Quran.
Well, no, man. I don't know. I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question though?
Sure.
Why did you ask the question?
Because I came yesterday. I walked in and I had several friends of mine who are Muslim, and they invited me, and I came to the dialogue we had, and I received a copy of the Quran, and I read several passages trying to understand some of the points of law. I myself, I'm a lawyer, so I just wanted to understand what this term might mean, and if you, I guess, have read more of the verses, you would, or even the prose as you argued, it would be to understand the context behind the statute, or behind the actual order.
It's very good. I mean, your question brings up other questions. It brings up how to approach the legal verses in the Quran, which is only about 500 to 600, yeah? Just like in statute law, you study statute law, right?
That's right.
Okay. What are the rules of interpretation of statute law? You have the mischief rule, you have the purposive rule, right?
The golden rule.
Golden rule and the literal rule. Good. So we're on the same wavelength here, yeah? So even in statute, secular law, you need tools of interpretation. You need tools of interpretation. So your question It means I don't know what fitna means in this legal context. So I need to go and find out, are there tools of interpretation of the Quran to make me understand the Quran? And we do. We have the exegetical works, we have the principles of interpretation that the Quran has given us, take a general statement, and it's been specified elsewhere in the Quran. So one, as a lawyer, we understand that you need to equip yourself with the tools of interpretation, which is good, because many other people, especially in the Christian tradition, would be like, see, you guys want to kill everybody. You guys you bloodthirsty. But I'm like, wait a minute, whoa. Yeah? There's tools of interpretation. There's been nuance in that discussion. So your question is very important. So my advice would be, find out what the tools of interpretation are, and then understand what it means in that context. Because in a war context anyway, with regards to fitna is worse than killing. In that context, this is under the banner of jihad itself, right? Yeah, you know what jihad is, yeah? I do. Good. And jihad in Islam, there's two types of realities of jihad. The first reality that people spoke about, which is a Meccan reality, which is like struggling against the self, struggling against the ego. But then it changed and it became a fighting reality. Yeah? And you have to appreciate that the Quran came down for human beings, because the human phenomena is fighting. People fight. They fought before religion, during religion, after religion. If you read any anthropological study, there's always going to be something about war there. Yeah? Always about war. We even sing about war. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. We even sing about war, yeah? So the point is, war is a human reaction. The Quran, and we believe the Quran is a rahmah, is a mercy for us. That's a sign of divine love, guidance. He's saying, you guys engage in war like crazy guys. There you go. Have a very human, divine methodology of dealing with warfare. So, jihad then gave us two concepts from a physical perspective. Defensive jihad and progressive jihad. Defensive jihad is a well-known human phenomenon. That's why some Muslims, like me personally, I just couldn't understand the Christian tradition of giving you the cheek, yeah? Because me, I would run out of cheeks, yeah? So like, you got to preserve yourself, man. So that's a rahmah for me. Because even the Meccan Muslims in the first 13 years, therefore they're going to get annihilated. And they were. But God gave them this like rahmah, saying, look, this is good for you, defend yourself. So, and this in line is an inherent right. Like UN Charter, Article 51, what does it say? It says every human being and social society has an inherent right to defend themselves against physical harm. So the defensive jihad is okay. So we could be jihadists from a UN context, yeah? Yay! Yeah? Now there's a second point, which is the progressive jihad, which some people call the expansionist policy of Islam, the Islamism. At the end of the day, what does the Quran give us reasons for progressive jihad? To remove injustice, oppression, which includes fitna here, yeah? So, the Quran says very eloquently, beautifully, what is the matter with you? That you don't fight for God's cause, for the people amongst the city who are saying, oh Lord, remove us from these oppressors and these tyrants. Do you see? So it gives a justification to say after diplomacy fails, that we could remove the oppression and remove the fitna from people. Some may argue that that's what the Americans did with Saddam Hussein. Obviously, we know that wasn't their agenda, but that's a different story. Liberal interventionism has that concept, that you intervene to sort out certain injustices that are against the liberal worldview. Tony Blair, he mentioned that with regards to entering Bosnia and trying to sort the situation out there. So the point is, the Quran gives you his reason. However, the Quran also says, smite them, kill them, smite their necks. Inna Allah yuhibbul ladhina yuqatiluna, yeah? God loves those who fight for Him. It's like, whoa, what kind of book is this, man? Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim? No way. Yeah, that's what we're going to be thinking. But the point is, because the Quran is also a legal book, and you can't take one verse and run away with it. You have to see it holistically in the corpus of all values. And the Quran, in this context, it's about war, when you're allowed to do war. So what's the Quran going to do? Is it going to say, tickle their toes and give them flowers? It's not going to do that. If you do that, you're in big trouble, yeah? It's going to say, that's it. Time for war, it's the just time for war, just like the Christian just war theory, Thomas Aquinas. It's time for war, bang, bang, bang. But it's couched in restraining language. Allah does not like those who transgress. He does not love the transgressors. Be mindful of Allah. And we know from the prophetic traditions that the Prophet said, don't kill innocents, don't kill women. Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, who's the right-hand man of the Prophet that you can find in the Imam Malik's Muwatta, he said, don't kill priests, Christian priests specifically. Don't kill those farming, don't kill trees. So the point is, now when you see it in context, when you have the tools of interpretation, you see everything together like a four-dimensional model, you're like, you know what? MashaAllah. Yeah, this is great. And if we're nuanced, we understand the tradition for what it is.
Would you say then, I mean, taking, for example, the Catholic and the Christian tradition of a just war, jus in bello or jus ad bellum,
yes.
The justice, to perform justice within the war, or to have a justification to go to war,
yes.
Would you say that there is a theory of justice, of a just war? Would this be jihad? Would jihad be justifiable?
Of course. Definitely. No Muslim in their sound mind would ever utter any time to this because it would make them a non-Muslim. First thing, yeah? See, we have to understand Fox News jihad, yeah? And we have to understand Quranic jihad. Fox News jihad is a caricature, it's a cartoon, it's Mickey Mouse, yeah? We're adults, we've stopped watching Mickey Mouse for a long time, yeah? It's Robert Spencer type of mentality, yeah? Quranic jihad is what I just described to you. Do you see? Allah has given us the reasons. Oppression, removing fitna, etc. Blah, 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 etc. It's couched in correct type of warfare. It's couched in good values. The Geneva Convention was outdated, man. The Prophet ﷺ gave it to us way before the Geneva Convention was allowed. And by the way, the Christian tradition didn't have a very healthy view of war either. If you go to Deuteronomy, it says if someone's not worshipping God, kill the whole town, man. Deuteronomy says it, massacred the lot of them. Now, obviously, understand that there's a thing called systematic theology in the Bible, and I'm not going to take that verse and run away with it. I'm not going to say, well, therefore Christians are all bad. No, we don't do that. But why does Fox News do that about jihad? You know, they take a political reality, they take a theology, and they bring it together. But that's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the same thing. But yes, we do have a concept of just war. To the point where Zion Zohar is a modern Jewish historian. When the Muslims, they crossed, this is what he said. Thus, when the Muslims crossed the Straits of Gibraltar, jihad, yeah? In the Iberian Peninsula, the Jews saw them as liberators from Christian persecution. So when you apply jihad properly, these are the results. And does that sound like terrorism? No. Because what is terrorism? Terrorism is killing innocent human beings for political agenda. And that's not in line of Islam. That's not an Islamic value. You can't kill just for political agenda. Do you see the point here?
One more
Yeah,
thing.
go for it.
I appreciate your commentary. I mean, it's certainly very insightful. The second one.
You're so diplomatic.
Thanks. I mean, we learned it in the law school, I guess. The second one would be if you have an understanding of who are the believers. I think another particular part in the Quran says that anybody who kills innocent believers, their punishment is hell.
Yes.
Now, those are the believers in Allah. Now, you have Catholics and you have Christians and they believe in God. I mean, is it a way of interpreting it to say that those who believe in God are also believers in Allah? Or does it specify that you have to believe in Allah through the Quran to be considered a believer?
Okay, that's a very good point. So, to cut a very long theological discussion, a believer is someone who believes in La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That's what belief means in this context, yeah? But also there are references in the Quran that refer to believers as Jews and Christians. Especially when we're talking about the places of worship and destroying places of worship. However, you have to understand that the Quran says if you kill someone unjustly, it's like killing the whole of humanity. And if you save a life, it's like saving the whole of humanity. And we have to understand the prophetic tradition of the Prophet said, whoever kills a Jew Christian under our protection, it's as if he's harmed me. Rather, he's killed him, he said, you will never smell the paradise. So it's not just about you can't just kill believers, you can't kill anyone. The Quranic value is, aslan, the foundational view is, you can't kill anyone. You kill anyone, it's like you've killed the whole humanity.